Blood, 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 blood.
This event was called Bad Blood before WWE made the decision to change it to Great Balls of Fire. Now I'm drowning in irony, lads, because even though they took the blood out of the title, this was the bloodiest bastard WWE show that WWE have put on in many years. I'm King Ross, you're my loyal subjects, and it's that bastard time of the month once again where I take a look at a Raw pay-per-view called Great Balls of Bastard Fire. Presented in Boss Vision. You stick those glasses on and watch Great Balls of Fire, and I'm sure what you'll be seeing will resemble f***ing cataracts. And nobody wants to watch Great Balls of Fire with cataracts. With all the slits in those glasses, you won't be seeing the show very well. So why are they trying to shill Boss Vision onto us like we're some sort of set of stupid marks that don't know what cataracts is? Cataract. Goodness gracious, where the f*** is the fire? How can you have a pay-per-view title with literally the word fire in it and not have a bit of pyro to kick off the show? Talk about blue balling WWE, you set of teasing bastards. As we all know, as wrestling fans, as a community, as a fan base, fire makes us f***ing horny. Booker T calling Bray Wyatt the master of mind games. No, 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 Booker pal. The only thing Bray Wyatt is the master of is talking absolute shit and then not backing it up and looking like a Rastafarian hobo. Booker T at the f***ing double this time. He claims that Seth Rollins is struggling away from the authority and that this is a man's game. One question, Booker, what about the women in WWE? Surely they prove it's not a man's game. It's a man and a woman's game. So why are you leaving the ladies out, you sexist pig? At this point already in the video, I feel like I'm picking on Booker T, but f*** it. If I made a moment for every single time he let out a guttural, sexual grunt, something that sounded like this. This video would be roughly 350 points long and ain't nobody got time for that shit. Stop doing it, Book. The camera's on pointed at you so we don't know what you're doing while you're making these sexual guttural grunts. It's really disconcerting knowing that you are sat in the arena behind the desk watching sweaty men and sweaty women touching each other and feeling each other, and you're sitting there going, it sounds like you're wanking over them, you sally bastard. Michael Cole claims that the winner of the Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt match could change the entire course of their career. Liar, liar. Michael Cole's a c***. We know no matter who won that match, Bray Wyatt would still be talking bollocks and then not backing up, and Seth Rollins would still not be connecting properly as a babyface while going all the way home. As we all know, we had a couple of cheating McCheatersons in the ring during that opening match between Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins, and wouldn't you just know it, the commentary team couldn't help themselves but to throw a couple of jabs in there at the expense of the pair's wandering willies. Can you tell I've been up 26 hours straight and f***ed off coffee? We had Booker talking about courting while the pair were doing the graps, and then we had Michael Cole talking about Seth's sneaky power. Easy for me to f***ing say. At the end of the day, though, Bray Wyatt did prove one thing, and that's that cheaters sometimes do prosper. Do you see that double meaning on the cheater thing? Oh, ow! Michael Cole, rightly so, questions the amount of emotions that are going through Enzo Amore's head as he prepares to go into battle against his former husband and longtime carer, Big Cass. Enzo, however, and I know I've gone over this time and time again in recent weeks, but it doesn't fit the bastard narrative. Enzo comes out like his legs have treble dropped, snorted a gram, done all sorts and moving like the clappers. He shouldn't be moving like that when he's just about to go into battle with his former husband and longtime carer. Surely he should be sad and depressed, knowing what's coming. I'm going to settle down a bit now. What I'm trying to say here is that Big Cass should be the one dancing because he's finally going to beat the shit out of the guy he lifted off his own shoulders, while Cass should be very sad because he's been left and now he knows that a beating is on his horizon. But for Enzo, though, at least he clawed it back a bit with that promo, which was f***ing fire times 3.
In the journalist industry, word-based offenses are considered especially repulsive. In the world of WhatCulture, dedicated riding wranglers who investigate these faux pas are members of an elite squad known as King Ross's Grammar Gendarme. These are their stories.
Certified.
In the journalist industry, word-based offenses are considered especially repulsive. In the world of WhatCulture, dedicated riding wranglers who investigate these faux pas are members of an elite squad known as King Ross's Grammar Gendarme. These are their stories.
Well, this made no pissing sense during Enzo's promo, which was fire, of course. He claimed that he never sleeps anymore because his real life is better than his dreams. Now, we all know Enzo runs around like somebody that's taken one too many happy pills along with one too many cups of coffee with one too many sugars, but his life at that point when he was cutting that promo and saying that line was the absolute drizzling shit, and he f***ing knows it. His husband, best friend, life partner, carer, backer-upperer is walking down the ramp, hell-bent intent on kicking his arse. What is so dreamy about that situation? I ask you, Enzo. I'll tell you, nout. All your worst nightmares are coming f***ing true.
Big ass. Eat balls of fire.
Big Cass again, and this time we have to look at the fact he's changed one thing about his appearance to signify that he's left Enzo Amore and he's all on his loan as a big bastard sweaty heel. He's gone from black wrist tape to white, and colour me a f***ing traditionalist, but normally white is a colour associated with baby faces unless you're Triple H back in the day when he got all doughy and fat, and his Motorhead fanboy Tash and his little cute cycling shorts, he didn't give a f***. He wore white boots, even though they're traditionally for baby faces, and at that time he was a big, bold, sweaty heel with a massive sweaty nose. And one other thing about white tape, I've been informed by wrestling historian Michael Sidgwick in this office that they normally belong to wrestlers who are good, and he doesn't think Cass is good, he thinks Cass is shit. I know, you can only have white tape if you're a good wrestler. That speaks bollocks, doesn't he? Now, hey, this isn't a WTF moment, but I think it's worth saying, and this is my video, and I'll do what I like. I reckon the Big Cass's version of the cross-faced chicken wing there should be known as, from henceforth, a chicken casserole. You f***ing love it. Fire. What the f***ing hell is that? What the f***ing hell is going on, Bo Dallas? You Poundland Axl Rose, you half-a-man gang, you. You look like the American Badass Undertaker and Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump have got together, had sex, and then since they're both men and they can't produce the baby from their womb because they don't have the womb, they've gone for their map, their morning after poo. Their poo has mixed together like compost and you have sprouted out like a flower. What am I saying? It seems unfair now, but it, Booker T's back again with another mistake. This time he claims that Dallas Sportatorium's address was 10,000 Industrial Boulevard, even though we all know that it's 1,000 South Industrial Boulevard. Even JBL was calling in and putting Booker T right, but no, even still, Booker T wasn't having it. I mean, if JBL's calling and putting you right, you're not just a numpty, you're far past it. You're... I'm getting f***ing bored of Booker T now, but here goes. Cesaro, 36 years of age. Sheamus, 39 years of age. Jeff Hardy, 39 years of age. Matthew James Cuthbert Hardy, my close personal friend, 42 years of age. And Booker's claiming that DeBar has youth on their side. Barely, mate. Sorry, lads, but Jeff Hardy has hit 2,475,836 swanton bombs over the course of his career. What normally happens, he hits it, he grimaces, but then a couple of seconds later, he's up and celebrating, having a f***ing waxer time because he's just won the match. And I don't care that 30 minutes of action had just happened. He's just hit his own bastard move and he's pinned. Oh! Plus, it looked like he got his shoulder up for a split second, which ruined this moment, which was the only bad moment in this match because that was a 2 count. Go back and watch. The referee's hand hits the floor. That's not the first count. He hits the floor and then it's 1-2. It's not a 3 count, all right? Great f***ing match, though. It just shouldn't have ended that way because it didn't make a lot of sense. It should have ended in a different way to make a bit more sense. Now I'm not making much sense in my own head here. She's the best at everything, but another WTF moment here is the Raw commentary team acting like they've never seen this before. Go back to the December 28th episode of SmackDown Live, you see Alexa do exactly the same thing. It doesn't get any more oh my god, thank that's over. Now I know I don't deal with the pre-show, but the highlights were shown during the main show, and since I do deal with the main show, I'm going to deal with the pre-show. I bet Vince McMahon was laughing his little testicles off backstage when he came up with the finish of the Cruiserweight Championship match between Neville and Akira Tozawa. Of course, Tozawa being draped on a top rope and the Neville booting it straight up into his crevice would have given Tozawa, and you guessed it, great balls of fire, as Noam Dar would probably say, Vince, get to you sad bastard. Have you ever stepped back and imagined what it's going to be like in 50 years' time when we're sat there all wrinkly and watching Dean Ambrose versus The Miz continue their rivalry for the Intercontinental Championship at WWE? Boom, boom, pow. Triple H will be in his 90s finding this outdated tune in the future. Total just like Vince McMahon finds great balls of fire. Total today. On a more serious note, however, WWE, please just give us a new challenger for The Miz, because when it comes to The Miz and Dean Ambrose's rivalry,
I can't stand no more.
Braun Strowman would be absolutely f***ed, lads, if he was doing the cha-cha slide. I'll tell you why. In kayfabe, he injured his left arm. Then, in real life, he had surgery on his right arm. And then he appeared at WWE Great Balls of Fire with his right arm taped up, even though in kayfabe, which is what should be appearing on WWE Great Balls of Fire, his left arm was injured. The thick bastard doesn't appear to know the difference between left and right. It doesn't matter though, because you'll eat your f***ing granny. Sticking with big, sweaty bollocks Braun, and this time he goes for a pinfall in an ambulance match where the only way you can win is to put your opponent in the massive f***ing white ambulance at the end of the room and then closing the doors behind him. What a f***ing numpty. It doesn't matter though, because he'll eat your granddad along with your granny. Bring to ambulance, oh that f***ing ambulance. First of all, attempted vehicular homicide, and then the f***ing prick fled the scene. This is the third time this year we've seen attempted murder on WWE television without repercussions. First we saw Randy Orton burning down a shed, and then we saw Baron Corbin try to squash Dean Ambrose with a forklift. And I know you're all sitting there going, oh, you weren't complaining when Stone Cold was flipping Triple H over in a car. I'll tell you why. Twitter wasn't round back then, and I was 8 bastard years old. B, why would Roman do this when he knows that whiplash exists? The silly prick. Trez, the camera angles. Everybody's going on as if this is going on spontaneously, but that one camera angle, you know, the one where it's in the f***ing lorry, just by chance, pointing out the back where Roman Reigns is going to reverse a big sweaty ambulance into a bigger, sweatier lorry, that just doesn't happen, does it? That was placed there beforehand because this was planned out, and it just takes all the spontaneity out the moments, ruins the moment for those watching. We don't need those shitty camera angles. It was just like when AJ Styles put Shane McMahon's head through the f***ing car window and you had that fake taxi shot for no f***ing reason. Unless, of course, AJ Styles likes blood porn. We get that you're trying to make things look more cinematic WWE with that f***ing just that rogue cameraman stood in the exact position that you can see Roman's wing mirror to see Roman's smug bastard face. What were the chances of that? I just don't like the logic in somehow Kevin Dunn wiring up a camera in the back of a lorry, somehow having a premonition knowing that Roman's going to reverse an ambulance into the lorry and get a lovely shot for his f***ing television show, the bucky bastard. But at the end of the day, the biggest WTF moment in all of this is that WWE expect us to boo a man who just survived and walked away bravely from attempted murder after fairly winning a match. If this isn't the biggest double turn they've done in f***ing bare time, we might as well all give up, because that's the clearest indication yet that they don't have a f***ing Scooby-Doo what they're doing. Right, Heath won that match with Kurt Hawkins. Settle the f*** down. You know the result. However, in my opinion, nobody won that match, because the fact that WWE didn't have the commentators explain to you, no less show what was happening in the ring, buried both guys farther than Enzo Amore can crawl a Big Cass's arsehole. The way they dealt with that match, not having the commentators explain or showing highlights, just tells us that they think we don't care about those two men, and there can't be a bigger kick to the balls for a professional wrestler where the company you work for thinks that the fans the company has don't care about you. I feel so sorry for Heath and Kurt. And we end with the double-headed fucking ugly dog of Maggle Cole and Booker T. First of all, we have Maggle Cole claim that he doesn't know if he's ever seen anything like Roman plowing an ambulance into a lorry. Booker T said in the 26 years he's been in the business, he's never seen anything like it. I'm here to say, you pair of fucking dog-faced numpties, you have Shane McMahon and Kane, Triple H and Austin, Rock and Hogan, Cena and JBL, Austin in the Monster Truck, Vince and DX and the DX Express. There, you have seen it plenty of times, and just while we're here, I'll explain. I didn't find any WTF moments from the main event. I did like it though, although I would have liked about 5 minutes more of to and fro between Brock and Joe. That would have made it all the more lovely, lovely, lovely. And to those of you moaning about one F5 finishing a match, that's you being pre-conditioned by WWE WWE's silly bollocks of having everyone having to kick out of a finisher 3 times before a match can end. That's how it should be. One finisher, victory. Nay bollocks. Let's f*** off.
Hello, I am Adam Pacitti, and I am fun. To prove how fun I am, I'm going to ask you a wrestling-based trivia question. Are you ready? Good. The DDT became famous for being the finishing move of which wrestler? The answer is Jake the Snake Roberts. That was fun. For more fun, buy the WhatCulture Wrestling Trivia Game, available now at shop.whatculture.com.